Good morning all. This is Ariya.S.Kurup, Assistant Professor, Sri Balaji College of Nursing. Today I am going to deal with the subject Management of Nursing Service and Education. And the topic is Nursing as a Profession. Nursing. Nursing is a profession within the healthcare sector focused on the care of individuals, families, and communities. So, they may attain, maintain, or recover optimal health and quality of life. Basic nursing principles. It includes safety, therapeutic effectiveness, use of resources, good workmanship, and individuality. Objectives. Prepare nurses who will expert bedside nursing care. Provide integration of health and social aspects, theory and practice. Provide an adequate, sound, scientific foundation to understand the functioning of body, mind in health and diseases. Concept of nursing. The task of nursing care includes to promote health, to prevent disease, to help ill person to healing, to assist the dying patient to pass us away with peace and dignity. The client is a holistic human being, including suffering person, healthy personality. The working place is not only in the hospital, but also in family, community, and whole society. When we are saying nursing care, this is not only we are giving only in hospitals, but we should include family, community, and whole society. Nursing is not only a science, but also an art. Nursing is not only a science, but also an art. What all procedures, what all care we are giving to patient, it should be highly artistic. The nursing science is a gradually perfect and developing science. Philosophy of nursing. Philosophy word is derived from the philos. Means philosophy is the word derived from the word philos, meaning wisdom or knowledge. So we'll see philosophy of nursing includes beliefs and values with regard to men in general and specifically men as the learner, teacher, nurse, client, and the beliefs about health, illness, society, nursing, and learning, etc. It includes spiritual. Religion should serve as the primary integrating factor. Means whoever be the patient, whatever be his religion, but we should give respect to his religion. Moral. Nurse has to develop right consciences. Intellectual to provide a systemic development and training for the fulfillment of nursing function. Social. Nursing is linked with social culture in which nursing activities are carried out. Emotional needs. Nurse must be able to function as a mature, self-dependent, and responsible individual and must be able to relate well to other people. Physical, to promote harmonious development, physical needs to preserve essentials of health. Next, we'll see functions of a nurse. Nurse as a caregiver. The caregiver role has traditionally include those activities that assist client physically and psychologically while preserving the client's dignity. Caregiving encompasses the physical, psychological development, cultural and spiritual levels. When we as a nurse giving care to our patient, we should support the individual by physically and psychologically too. Communicator. Communication is integral to all nursing roles. Means it is an essential role in nursing, because through communication only, or better to say with a better communication only, we are knowing about the patient. Nurses communicate with the client, support persons, other health professionals, and people in the community. In the role of communicator, nurses identify client problems and then communicate this verbally or in writing to other members of the health team. Teacher. As a teacher, nurse helps to learn about their health and healthcare procedures they need to perform to restore or maintain their health. The nurse assesses the client's learning needs and readiness to learn, set specific learning goals in conjugation with the client's intact teaching, strategies, and measures learning. Client advocate. Client advocate acts as to promote the client. In this role, the nurse may represent the client's need and wishes to other health professionals, such as relaying the client's wishes or the information to the physician. When the nurse will act as a client advocate, means she is in a role to protect his client's need. Means if the patient needs some other health professional also, the nurse will see the extent of the healthy benefits of the patient. Counselor. Nurse is a counselor. Counseling is a process in which it's helping a client to recognize and cooperate stressful psychological and social problems, to develop improved interpersonal relationship, and to promote personal growth. It involves providing emotional, intellectual, and psychological support. Whenever a patient is admitted to hospital, the psychological factor is a main thing because the patient is stressed. So it's a role of a nurse to give counseling to the patient. Leader. A leader influences others to work together to accomplish a specific goal. Effective leadership is a learned process requiring an understanding of the needs and the goals that motivate people, the knowledge to apply the leadership skills, and the interpersonal skills to influence others. Whenever we are saying nurse as a leader, the nurse should have a effective leadership quality to lead, to promote a well, effective and quality care to the patient. Case manager. Nurse case managers works with a multidisciplinary healthcare team to measure the effectiveness of the case management plan and to monitor outcomes. Whenever there will be a nurse as a case manager, definitely she have to work with other health professionals. So it's a duty of a nurse to see the effectiveness of care provided to the patient. Qualities of a professional nurse: truthfulness, loyalty, and honesty, love for the fellow man, caring, commitment, compassion, generosity, acceptance, assertiveness, punctuality, fairness, self-esteem and tolerance, appreciation, creativity, imagination, confidence, empathy, humor, kindness, morality, courage, accountability, authenticity, alertness, intelligence, efficiency, self-discipline, openness, and independent. Nurse means. We'll see what's the full form of nurse. N stands for nobility and knowledge. U stands for usefulness and understanding. R stands for rightness and responsibility. S stands for simplicity, sympathy. E stands for efficiency and equanimity. Next, we'll see nursing as a profession. Nursing is a discipline involved in the delivery of healthcare to society. It's a helping profession. Is service originated to maintain health and well-being of people. It is an art and science. Nurse word is originated from Latin word meaning to nutrix or to nourish. Means the nurse word is originated from Latin word nutrix, which means to nourish. Means we are nourishing the patient by giving a quality nursing care. Characteristic of nursing. Nursing is caring. Nursing involves close personal contact with the recipient of care. Nursing is concerned with the services that take humans into account as a physical, psychological, and sociological organisms. Nursing is committed to promoting individual, family, community, and national health goals in its best manner possible. Nursing is committed to personalized services for all persons without regard to colors, creed, social, and economic status. Nursing is committed to involvement in the ethical, legal, and political issues in the delivery of health care. Elements. Accountability. Service involves intellectual activity, individual responsibility. Autonomy. Practitioners are relatively independent and control their own policies and activities. Altruism. Practitioners are motivated to provide service and consider their work as an important component of their lives. Association. There is an organization that encourages and support high standards of practice. Categories of nursing personnel. Staff nurse, senior staff nurse, nursing superintendent, nursing tutor or clinical instructor, principal school of nursing, lecturer college of nursing, assistant professor college of nursing, professor college of nursing, principal college of nursing, senior assistant directorate of nursing, public health nurse, district family welfare bureau. These all are the occupation, or better to say designation of nurses. Values and code of ethics. First we'll see introduction of values. Freely chosen, values underlie all moral dilemmas, though not all values are moral values. Pupil values about work, family, religion, politics, money, and relationship. Important. Value influence decision and actions such as nurses' ethical decision making. Beliefs or attitudes about the worth of a person, object, idea, or action. Definition. Values are enduring beliefs or attitudes about the worth of a person, idea, or action. They are important because they influence decision and action, including nurses' ethical decision making. Components of value. A value is a set of small group of values held by an individual. A value system is an organization of values in which each set of values are ranked along a continuum from most important to least important. Value systems are basic to a way of life, give direction to life in the form of basic of behavior. Next, we'll see elements of values. There are two elements of values. First is belief and other is attitude. First, we'll see belief, faith and fact. Last only briefly, just as a correct or incorrect. Attitudes, thinking and behavioral aspects. Continuous over time, judged as bad or good, positive or negative. When we are saying belief, it's either is a fact or it's a faith. But when you are saying attitudes, it is a behavioral. Okay, it shows the behavior of a person. The belief lasts only for a short time, but attitude continues for a long time. The belief will be judged as a correct or incorrect, but the attitudes will be judged as a bad, good, positive or negative. Next, we'll see types of value. Values that are derived from society and individual subgroups. When we are saying societal values, means we are talking about society and the people living in that society. These values are highly influenced by a person, social culture, or societal tradition, by cultural, ethnic and religious group, and by family and peer groups. Means it will influence the person, means how the person is living, what tradition or culture they were following, or the religion they were following, and the behavior of a person with the family and the friend group. Next is a personal value. People internalize some or all of the societal values and perspective them as a personal values. Personal values are needed to have some sense of individuality. When we are saying personal value, it depends how the person is behaving on certain situation. Next is professional values, acquired during socialization into a profession. Means when we are working as a nurse, how we are communicating or how our attitudes toward the society or the people living in that society. They provide the foundation of nursing practice and guide the nurse's interaction with patient, colleagues, and public. The nursing professional values are acquired from code of ethics, experiences, teachers, and peers. Essential nursing professional values. So we'll see what all the essential professional values in nursing one by one. First is altruism, autonomy, human dignity, integrity, social justice. So first we'll see what is altruism. It is concerned for what well-being with others. In a professional practice, altruism is reflected by the nurse's concern for the welfare of patient, other nurses and other healthcare practitioners. Means it tells how a nurse is behaving with the other nurses or other healthcare practitioner or health professionals for the welfare of patient. She is reacting such so that the nurse should give a quality nursing care to the patient. Autonomy. It is the right to self-determination. Professional practice reflect autonomy, which the nurse respect patient right to make decision about the healthcare. Means it is the responsibility of a nurse to take a decision in a correct time, correct decision. Human dignity. It's the respect for the inherent worth and uniqueness of individual populations. In professional practice, human dignity is reflected when the nurse values and respect all patients and colleagues. Every individual need respect. So, when the nurse is coming in contact with his patient or her patient, she should give a good respect and values to all the patient relatives, colleagues, and other health professionals. Integrity. It's acting in accordance with an appropriate ethics and accepted standard of practice. Integrity is reflected professional practice with the nurse is honest and provide care based on the ethical framework that is accepted within the profession. When we are saying nurse should show his integrity, means the nurse should be honest so that she can able to give a proper care with regarding to ethical frame which is helpful for the patient. She should see whether the patient is getting proper health care or not. Social justice. It's upholding moral and legal humanistic principle. This value is reflected in professional practice when the nurse works to assure equal treatment under the law and equal access to healthy quality healthcare. Development of values and values of transmission. An individual is not born with values. Rather, values are formed during a lifetime from the information gathered from the environment, family, and culture. Means when an individual or when a small one is getting born, the individual is not born with values, but he get these values after coming in contact with the family, relatives, environment, and culture. As the children observe the action of others, they quickly learn from what is high and low value for them. Common modes of value transmission means how we are getting or transmitting the values. First is modeling, moralizing, laissez-faire, rewarding and punishing, responsible choice. Modeling. Through modeling, children learn what is of high or low value by observing parents, peers, and significant others. Thus, it leads to socially acceptable and unacceptable behavior. Means when a child is coming in contact with the parents, peers, the child is viewing daily how their parents and peer group were acting. So what they should accept and what they should avoid. They will learn with this. Moralizing. In this mode of value transmission, children are taught to complete value system by parents or an institution that allows little opportunity for them to weigh different values. Means when the child is coming in contact with parents or some institution like school or colleges, they got an opportunity to get the values. Means they will get some information regarding what they should accept and what they should avoid. laissez-faire. In this approach, children are left to explore values on their own and to develop a personal value system. In this, no one set of values is presented as best for all. This approach often involves a little or no guidance and can lead to confusion and conflict. In previous mode of transmission of values, the parents or the teachers or elders are there to tell what is good or what is acceptable and what is non-acceptable behavior. But in this, the child or the person is free to choose what is best and what is not good for them. In such case, as there is no guidance, it can lead to confusion and conflict in a nurse or a child. Rewarding and punishing. Children are rewarded for demonstrating values held by parents and punished for demonstrating unaccepted values. Means if the child is doing a good work or choosing a good values, they are getting rewards. And if they are choosing a bad behaviors, they are get punished. Responsible choice. In this mode, the caregivers encourage children to explore competing values and to weigh their consequences. Support and guidance are offered as children develop a personal value system. Next, we'll see code of ethics. Ethics. According to Malin and Evelyn, ethics refers to the moral code of nursing and is based on obligation to service and respect for human life. According to Potter and Perry, a code of ethics is a set of ethical principles that are accepted by all members of a profession. Code of ethics is a guideline for performance and standard of personal responsibilities. When we are saying code of ethics, means it's a set of rules and regulations which is followed by the pupil or the personal responsibilities. A code of ethics is a set of ethical principles that is shared by members of a group, reflect their moral judgment over time, serves as a standard for their professional actions. Purposes. What's the purpose of code of ethics? Standards for the behavior of nurse and provide general guidance for nursing action. Helps to distinguish between right and wrong. Helps to correct decision. Protect the rights of individuals. Means if there will be code of ethics, it will help to judge what is good and wrong for a patient. Standards for the behavior of nurse and to provide general guidelines for nursing. Help to distinguish between right and wrong. Helps to correct a decision. Protect the rights of individual. Means it will help to take a decision, a correct decision in a time where it is needed. Uses. Acknowledge the rightful place of individual in healthcare delivery system. Constitutes towards empowerment of individual and to become responsible for their health and well-being. Contributes to quality care. Means when there will be code of ethics, we know or we the nurses know what is good or bad or right or wrong for a patient, and we can able to, according to the condition, we can able to give a quality nursing care. Identifies obligation in practice, research and relationship. Inform the individual, family, community and other professionals about the expectations of nurse. Functions: to inform the public about the minimum standards of the profession, to provide a sign of the profession's commitment to the public services, to outline the major ethical consideration of the profession, to provide general guidelines for the professional behavior to guide the profession in self-regulations. Nursing Code of Ethics. In that, first we'll see purposes. Inform the public about the minimum standards of the profession and help them understand professional nursing conduct. Means it will help the public to know what are the standards of the profession and the care we're getting during the time of a patient is admitted in a hospital. Provide a sign of profession's commitment to the public it serves. Outline the major ethical considerations in profession. Provide standard of professional behaviors. Means when we are saying provide a standard of professional behaviors, means we are keeping a standard. Means wherever a nurse is working, they have their own standards and it's common for everyone. Remind nurses for special responsibility they assume when caring for the sick. Ethical dilemma occurs when there is a conflict between two or more ethical principles. We are saying ethical dilemma means ethical confusion. Means when there will be a conflict between two or more ethical principles, means a nurse get confused which she choose as a quality nursing care, means she get confused. No correct decision exists. Just because of the confusion, she can't able to take a correct decision. The nurse must choose between two alternatives that are equally unsatisfactory. Sometimes a condition will be arrived when the nurse have to choose an alternative solution in which both the objectives or both the conditions is unsatisfactory, but she have to choose any one. Occur as a result of difference in belief. This happens just because of difference in belief. Every individual have their own belief. International Code of Nursing Ethics means we are talking about ICN. The ICN Code of Ethics for Nurses. An International Code of Ethics for Nurses was first adopted by International Council of Nurses in 1953. It has been revised and reformed at various times since most recently with this review and revision completed in 2005. What are the principles of ICN? First, we'll see nurses and the pupil. The nurse's primary professional responsibility is to pupil requiring nursing care. Means the nurse should be ready to choose a responsibility or acquire a responsibility to give a nursing care to the patient. In providing care of nurses, promotes an environment in which the human rights, values, custom, and spiritual beliefs of the individual, family, and community are respected. The nurse ensures that the individual receives sufficient information on which to base consent for care and related treatment. Means the patient should be in a position to get a sufficient information related to his treatment from nurses. The nurses holds in confidence personal information, uses judgment in sharing this information. Means the nurse should hold the information regarding the patient in his or up to him or her. Means she should not make it as a public. The nurse shares with the society the responsibility of initiating and supporting actions to meet the health and social needs of the public, in particular those of vulnerable populations. Next is the nurses and the practice. The nurse carries personal responsibility and accountability for nursing practice and for maintaining competence of continual learning. The nurses use judgment regarding individual competence with accepting and delegating responsibility. Means day-to-day life, we are seeing that so many diseases are coming. So the nurses should be always in a position to read more so that she can able to take a correct judgment for a patient. The nurse at all times maintains standard for personal conduct which reflect well on the profession and enhance public confidence. The nurse in providing care ensures that use of technology and scientific advances are compatible with safety, dignity, and rights of people. Nurses and the profession. The nurse assumes the major role in determining and implementing acceptable standards of clinical nursing practice, management, research, and education. The nurse is active in developing a core of research-based professional knowledge. Means nurse should show the interest towards the research or as a researcher because day to day so many diseases are coming. So according to that, she get a role or get a situation to accept what right for a patient. The nurse acting through the profession organization participates in creating and maintaining safe, equitable, social and economic working conditions in nursing. Next one or the fourth one is the nurses and co-workers, means how the nurse will show the attitudes or behavior towards their or his or her co-workers. The nurse sustains a cooperative relationship with the co-workers in nursing and other fields because it's a group health professional work. Nurse needs other health professional also for giving a quality nursing care to the patient. So it's good if a nurse should show a cooperative relationship with every nursing and other health professionals. The nurse take appropriate action to safeguard individuals, family, and communities. Next is the nurses and society, means the role of nurse with the society. Participate and share responsibility with other citizens and other health professionals. Aware of law and regulation which affect the practice of medicine and nursing. Hence, the nurses should be aware the rules and regulations which will affect the practice of medicine and nursing. INC Code of Professional Conduct for nurses in India. So in that, first is the professional responsibility and accountability. Appreciates a sense of self-worth and nurtures it. Maintains standard of professional conduct reflecting credit upon the profession. Carries out responsibilities within the framework of the professional boundaries. It is accountable for maintaining practice and standards for or a set of Indian Nursing Council. It is accountable for own decisions and actions. Next is the nursing practice. Provide care in accordance with the set of standards during practice. Treats all individuals and families with human dignity in providing physical, psychological, emotional, and social and spiritual aspect of care. Means when a nurse is coming in contact with the people or a patient, she have to maintain the dignity of a patient and its relatives by providing a physical, psychological, emotional, social, and spiritual care. Respect individual and families in context of traditional and cultural practice and discouraging harmful practices. There are so many patients are coming in hospitals and the nurses are coming in contact with this patient. So all this patient following different tradition and culture. So she have to respect the tradition and culture of a nurse, of a patient, and she should discourage the harmful practices, which will act as a taboo. Communication and interpersonal relationship. Establishes and maintains effective interpersonal relationship with individuals, families, and communities. Means she have to maintain an effective interpersonal relationship or maintaining a good relation and communication with individuals, families, and communities. Upholds the dignity of team members and maintains effective interpersonal relationship with them. Appreciates and nurtures the professional role of our team members. Cooperates with other health professionals to meet the need of the individual, family, and communities. Valuing of a human being. Takes appropriate action to protect individual from harmful ethical or unethical practices. Encourage and support individuals in their right and speak for themselves on issues affecting their health and welfare. Respect and support choices made by the individuals. Management ensures appropriate allocation, utilization of available resources, participates in supervision and education of students and other formal care providers, uses judgment in relation to individual competence while accepting and delegating the responsibilities, participates in performance appraisal, participation in evaluation of nursing services. Legal consideration. Indian Nursing Council Act enacted in 1947 and amended in 1957. Legal implications. Torts. Torts are when other interferes in individual's privacy. Means we use the word tort when someone is interfering someone's privacy. Assault. Assault occurs when a person puts another person in a fear of harmful offensive conduct. Means if a person is having a fear or harmful offensive conduct towards another person, the word assault is used. Battery. It is an intentional touching of someone's or another's body without the consent. Means before, during, or before any procedure or nursing procedure, we have to inform the patient. We have to take consent with patient because we should not touch anyone's body without the consent. Negligency. It is described as a lack of proper care and attention, carelessness. Means just because of nurses or any health professionals negligency, and if the patient is getting any harm, it comes under negligency. Malpractice. Failure to meet the standards of acceptable care which result in harm to another person. Means if we are or if any health personnel is not using or not following the standards of care and the patient is getting harm, it comes under malpractice. Fraud. It results from a deliberate deception intent to provide unlawful gains. Means just to gain something or to gain some money or any profit. If we are means disturbing or if we are doing anything wrong with the patient, it comes under fraud. False imprisonment. It occurs when a client allowed to leave a healthcare delivery when no legal justification to detain the client or when restraining devices are used without appropriate clinical needs. Invasion of privacy. It includes violating confidentiality, intruding on private client or family matters, and sharing client information with unauthorized person. Means when a nurse is giving care to the patient, she have a good communication with the patient. So when a nurse come to know about some topic regarding a patient, she should keep it private. She should not make it as a public, or she should not pass this information to other health professional or unauthorized person if it's not needed. Legal responsibility. In that, first is registration. After the finishing of a course, the nurses or the student nurses should register in their own state nursing council before joining any job. Otherwise, it will come act as a illegal responsibilities. Legal liability or act of negligence. License of a nurse can be suspended or cancelled for any act of negligence or malpractice following a specified procedure. The license or registration of a nurse is cancelled if she is doing any negligence or malpractice during the procedure, which will affect the health of a patient. LAMA or medical legal case. Amendment legal case is patient who is admitted to the hospital with some unnatural pathology and has stopped taken care in concurrence with the police or a court. Left against medical advice. LAMA means, when we are saying LAMA, means the medical personnel not informed that he or the patient should leave the hospital, but the patient is leaving with his or her own will. That comes under LAMA. Correct identity means when a patient is admitted in a hospital or in a ward, there will be correct identity. Means it's mentioned near the patient, it's informed the name of the patient, age, sex, and the registration number or IP address of a patient. Patient's property. When a patient is admitted in hospital, it's a work of a nurse to take care of patient property. What all property of a patient is there, she have to make it as a list, and she have to take a sign or consent from the patient or patient's relative. So during the time of discharge, the patient should not complain the missing of his or her property. Examination of a rape case. When a patient is coming with a complaint of a rape case, during the time of examination, there will be an attendant, or better to say a female attendant should present. Artificial human insemination. During the time of artificial human insemination, the nurse and the health professional should keep in secret the identity of a patient, recipient, and donor. She should not make it as a public. Poison case. During the time of poison case, she have to make everything a clear written information regarding a patient. She should not take any picture or image of a patient